See what this one says.
And this is what I have my pen set at, probably. It's chilly. There's Lisa.
Oh, I'm like, as always.
Grab the chairs and things. All right, so we'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. And did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes that Allison sent out? Any issues? Motion to accept,
Make a motion to accept the minutes as printed.
Second.
favor? Aye.
I,
All right, Lisa, you're up. Oh, thanks.
so friends. What we got going on? So coming up, we've got, the seeds for the seed library. They're in the process of being sorted and repackaged into smaller packages for the public. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know Sandy and Lisa volunteered to repackage them all for me this year, because I just couldn't muster the energy to do it myself. So, we have more friends now, so it's wonderful. I got them. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're hoping to have those done probably in the next month or so we can start distributing them. So we're gonna create a flyer, we'll do a big marketing blast on that. We have the Flower Power fundraiser coming up again, so we did that in the fall. That was a really good fundraiser for us, because it was really no time at all. We made like $500.
That's great.
So we're hoping to offer that again, but now in a springtime version. And this time we can actually do in-library booklets and do like a bulk purchase that'll come here, and then people can come pick it up if they want to, and they can do the order online. And the benefit of having it all come here is they save the shipping, just like $12 a person, so you can save the shipping. So we're gonna work on that. That'll be coming soon. We're talking about doing a Mother's Day craft event like we did for the Christmas one. I mean, we did for the, is that Christmas?
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, so we're thinking about doing the same thing, but for Mother's Day. And then we'll probably do another one for Mother's Day. So we'll do that. That's coming up.
That was pretty well received.
Yeah, and we're thinking about doing another plant type takeaway, like we did the succulent one
Oh, yeah.
last spring.
Mine's growing out of its little container.
I've already taken mine, because it was all like warped trying to stay in there. So we're talking about doing something like that again this year. I haven't quite figured out what yet, but that's coming. And we were then talking about the cleanups. So we started in the fall doing the yard cleanups here. So we're talking about doing 2 in the spring. And one of them, we're looking at having go-go goats come and eat all the nutweed.
That's awesome.
So, and that'll bring in a crowd just because people want to see goats, and we can kind of, double-edged advertise the goats, people can come see them, we're cleaning up all at the same time. And then they were talking about doing another, like a Facebook kind of advertisement where, I guess there's this new thing where you 6-word poems or something.
Oh, right.
So we were talking about having something like that to try to engage people to post on Facebook, submit entries, and then they win a prize of some sort.
Is that tied with like poetry? I don't know when poetry.
That's it for us.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 6-word stories?
Yeah, 6-word stories, you're right.
Yeah, like somebody gave an example of like, and I just thought it was so sad, like baby shoes, for sale baby shoes, never worn. Oh my God, it made me cry. Yeah.
So we're thinking about something like that.
That's toast.
Doesn't that tell us hard?
It's
Like very profound.
So lots of stuff going on. Probably do a book sale, maybe, in the spring again, when the seniors do the town graveyards. Do book sales, so we'll do that as well. And if Andrew wants to get rid of all these books.
Well, they're all over at the garage now.
So yeah, that's kind of what we've got going on right now. It's been really great. We've had a lot more, join us during the meetings and volunteer to help. And so this year has been really great. It's gone from really the 3 or 4 of us kind of branching out. There's now probably 6 to 7 or more at every meeting of us. So, not including Andrew and Tara, who come every time as well, but,
I was talking to Gay today, and doing the annual report.
Yep.
Through the for instance, and it's not that I don't remember it, but you know, a lot happens during the year. I was so impressed with everything you guys here and the number of people you brought in. I was you guys did a great job this year. I mean, there were so many different initiatives. And not only that, just sort of the group sort of pulled last year together. I just think it's a really good year.
hopefully it stays that way. It feels much more positive than it has in previous years. So hopefully it continues in that way. It'll be good. So.
Great, and I did get a phone call yesterday from Janet Muldoon Moore's
Oh, yes.
in desperate need of soft cover books right now. And I was like, well, I can mention it.
Yeah, so, part of the issue is that they're all over there.
Uh-huh.
At the rectory garage, and it's not that she couldn't look through those boxes if she wanted to. Initially, I was gonna have to stop over the back and.
Sure.
Go through some things. I mean, she can certainly go through the library where there's soft covers. And I'm more than willing to open up the garage for her, but it's kind of full time here. I don't know if she wanted to do that. But I know she suggested she. So.
Yeah. I also directed her towards the Blessing Barn because they have Compassion New England and they might be willing to donate some of the, they have a lot of books.
Yeah.
You know, they sell them down in the basement.
Yeah, they don't want, she doesn't want hardcover.
What did you want?
Corrections.
The prisons.
Oh, yeah. Does it make sense to advertise that we're looking for those and take donations for them? Just soft covers? I mean, I know that it's gonna be.
She would
really
love
hard,
that.
But I mean, we could
Yeah.
certainly do something like that. You know, I mean, we'd have to kind of coordinate how we're
We'd
gonna
have to
do that, but
create the space.
we may get inundated.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
Lots of people have been asking.
I've seen it a lot too.
yeah, I mean, the issue is storage. You
Yeah,
want to store them back here in Heath.
right,
Right,
yeah.
at least till the fire department. Anyway. Dennis Muldoon Moore's.
Looks up on Black.
Yeah, once a week,
At least.
or at least consider.
I delivered some books to the senior center.
You did.
I backed into the wall and smashed my car to about 3,500 dollars.
Oh, geez.
I might give her a call too, because there's quite a few books down in the senior center.
Yeah.
They didn't have the book sale. They don't have,
Oh,
there, so we have some.
I would do it better, because I know she's, this is one company.
She can pack a car like.
Oh, yeah, after the sale. I don't know how she can see it. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, she doesn't mind sorting through stuff old garage. Open that door.
I don't think that would bother her.
Probably wouldn't.
I don't think it would either. She's pretty hard. And if you need her phone number, you can call. I think I have it in my coworkers.
Oh, okay.
I can give it to you before we leave here tonight.
Oh, great, yes.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Lisa, for the fund report. And, for the director's report.
Okay, so staff, Brent is doing very well. Touch base with her tomorrow on circulation and processing. I'm not sure exactly what types of materials she's processed so far. So I know she's done books. I just don't know if she's done others. And I don't know that she's done more DVD. So far, so good. Vacation plans, everybody's ready to make their vacation plans. because clearly, ski doesn't have to be very conducive.
Wanna get away?
So the the timeframe right now seems to be like between April and June, there are quite a few who do want vacation time. I think there's not a lot of overlap. There's one area of overlap, which is late May into June, that we're gonna have to figure out. We'll figure it out. My office looks out on my desk, so we'll figure it. The third part of the third paragraph on staff is about the
I was trying to hit dismiss, sorry, Allison.
That's okay.
A little problem there. I think I might have to start the recording again now, because I left. Oh, no, it's okay. It's
good one.
Yeah.
So, has everybody had a chance to read that paragraph on staff?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm looking for feedback. I can tell you that I talked to the Blackstone Valley Libraries yesterday. There were 8 on the call. 6 of them have a mask mandate, 2 of which the town mandated, which is always interesting.
Nothing happened.
And 2 of which, as far as I know, don't have. Some of them have programs already. I would say about half. Indoor, in-person programs. And a couple are going to be starting in person in early March. So, I mean, my take right now is we were at 22% last week, or 14% this week. When we started the mandate, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a little over 10%. Might have even been 9%. So I guess at this point, I'm looking for feedback from everybody about what your thoughts are. My guess is if it keeps trending downward, we might be able to go back to what we were doing previously at the end of this month. I don't feel it's necessarily a great idea to start this week, maybe next. Anecdotally, I haven't had, Tara and I talked about this, I haven't had pushback from a lot of people. I've had virtually none. I don't know if you have any from patrons. When I say it's a limited pushback means
1 or 2.
1 or 2 staff members.
Yeah.
Let's say 1. And it's become more of an issue recently. So, I don't know where that goes if mandate stays in place. But I wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, I heard today, and I didn't verify it myself,
Yeah.
that they were gonna list the Massachusetts mask mandate in 3 weeks, at the
Okay.
end of this month.
They did the 28th.
So if we follow that,
Did they end it today for schools?
Yeah.
Wait, when does that happen?
20,
What happens on the 28th? Okay.
Yes.
So that's actually pretty much in line with like New Jersey and I think Connecticut, we're talking at the end of the month.
yeah,
So the schools, so we have to vote on that, and I think that's gonna happen shortly.
Okay,
So all that stuff's gonna get lifted in the end.
right. So maybe we just,
Yeah, I'm on school.
so I would say let's stand pat. Be my opinion, but I don't know what everybody else.
I mean, if if you guys are comfortable with that, I think that's a decent time frame to, the numbers are trending down,
Last week we talked, this was the 28th of what they said.
28, yeah. So we can always review. We
No,
don't,
it's the 28th. It gives the towns they can decide. I mean, it's not carte blanche that it's removed.
Right, each town individually.
So, does it make sense that you follow what the schools do?
Well, we were on the call yesterday with the Blackstone. Said, once the schools do what they're planning on doing, it's gonna be a big process. So let's try to
sure,
mandate something like that, because
So I think when you look at the, you know, often it's just a, it's just a step apart. You have to go through the duration of this thing for another 6 months,
right,
whatever it's 3 months. The way that it's trending now, the way that the overall, the number of people who've been infected, the number of people who've been vaccinated, it's starting to overlap. So in the numbers,
right,
so you're seeing a less prevalent, you know, it's called extreme disease for the illness.
Right.
So a lot of people are saying the trade-off is just,
right.
so we lift it.
Right. That said, we'll see what happens. But all I can do is send out the. This is what follows.
So in the school, go by the guidance of today. So the 28th will be the soonest.
I can see this.
And it's gonna be people with individual choice.
Yeah, that's good work.
Also, we're story time, because that saves me and Steve and cough in the face by 20 kids.
I know.
So that works for me.
Let's face it, we've gotten far less colds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, colds and flus are down.
Now, they're talking about, vaccinated or not vaccinated.
Yeah, we're always yeah. Or, yeah. Because numbers are showing that you're getting it regardless.
Right, right. Okay. No, I just wondered, because I didn't hear it. So.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
not that they're getting it regardless. It's that the people who have not been vaccinated are getting it in much higher numbers. Who are vaccinated.
So then,
And the numbers of people who have gotten the disease have now they have some sort of immunity.
yeah.
So now they're starting to see overlap in those numbers. So they're saying we're getting the coverage. That's
So I
what
would assume that the 28th will just. Comments with them.
Yep.
With vaccinated.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
okay with that?
I mean, all these, every step we take is like a step into the beyond. You have no idea what you're gonna step on. You can step on a landmine. You
For
don't
the
have
last 2 years.
to, you know?
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. All right, excellent. See anything else? No. So this is 28th target date.
Perfect.
All right. Facilities, Superior Roofing. I don't know what happened.
They cashed the check.
They did?
Oh,
we did.
nice.
The deposit check has been cashed. So they have the money.
Okay.
Strongly worded.
Contract.
Yeah, and in their defense, you're right, the weather has been
The weather's
not
not
great.
great, it was icy, I get it, but you know, it's gonna be decent the next week.
Right.
I don't
least
think it
some
would
sort of
take them that
communication.
long. Yeah, I need communication. How am I gonna do this? Give me a time frame as long as the weather holds out. What is it? Oh. So Lieutenant Burnham Stockton, Library, been very thorough. Trying to be library.
Too thorough.
Well, he found the back over there,
Yeah.
and we had been housing some things back there.
Maybe just a little.
I don't recall, see, that's the thing, when we moved in here, I don't recall them saying we couldn't have a certain amount of whatever.
They said we couldn't pack it, but we could
Just-
use it.
Apparently not flammable, so.
But they did.
Yeah, so I mean, was it packed? There were things there, there were boxes, and there was equipment.
Yeah.
In the end, it was kind of a good thing. Number one, the books, the boxes are over there now, so they're all ready to be sorted through, right, which is great. And the equipment, which I was having trouble finding or figuring out what I should do with. I don't know if you had mentioned it to me that he had taken that stuff before, so I was like, this is great. I contacted Alan within 2 days.
Came right over.
I didn't know you took that stuff. What'd you do with it?
I don't know.
I don't know if he puts it.
You don't have to pay for it either.
I don't know, it's just like, no. But
Yeah,
no,
there must
we
be
have
some electronic
monitors in the other room
recycling.
too.
Electronic recycling here in Hendon.
Yes, but we have to pay for
We
it.
need to pay
Yeah,
for it
we
as a
need to pay
resident.
Yes.
Maybe as a town, we didn't have to.
No,
Wow,
the library.
interesting.
but it was nice because there was a fair amount of,
Oh, he took a lot.
yeah, CPUs, monitors, printer, bunch of things. So that was great. And, yes, you can go back there now and use it as a dining room if you want. Or you can have lunch back there if you want to. So many things, yes, you could practice.
Hide from your mom.
Practice an instrument back there if you want to. There's lots of space.
And it's so peaceful.
One more space that I think is necessary.
Interesting, if it's soundproof, you could rent it out for instruments.
It leads to one
Right after
complication.
story time.
And the one complication is that it leaves us with a lot less storage options. Yeah, so we're gonna need to address those. And we're already starting to put boxes together again, things that we're taking out of the system. No big deal. I figure every 5, 6 boxes. But that's not the only thing we stored. So it was not filled with enough storage, if that's not reason.
Maybe we will need to keep the rectory then, huh?
Well, actually, it was really thankful for it. Yeah, I was thankful for the garage. And actually, the things that went in the garage were the books. Print stuff, incentives, those went into the rectories. I mean, not that it's not the goal.
It's, yeah.
Multi-rectory, you know.
Yeah, it's, I could. But in any event, at least we have a place to put it.
Right.
So outside of that, maybe get some of the batteries replaced, these light fixtures, Steve, they're not easy to open. It took some English, he had to take a little while to get them open. I know what the battery is like, I think they're. Or it may be able to buy them. At Amazon. And the model number, so. And then putting together 2 eval maps, which I just have to look in.
They don't do that for you?
Fish.
I did that.
Well, that's what I always figured,
Who
like,
does it for the schools?
if I walked into like a place and I saw a new activation, I always thought, oh, well, that's nice. You know, I would never have said, oh, well. So like, we'll have to figure that out.
Every class.
Yeah. Well, that's not what they said.
Okay. We have to do it. Except for occupancy. Yeah, for occupancy. This should be one by every door.
Yeah, because they didn't even say where I should put them. On the wall. Like you said, over here, the hallway, I have no idea.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to go looking for it.
I'll make 4, 2 copies down here, and 2 copies for upstairs. From whatever floor plans I can find. We'll go from there. So then the chief customer stopped over the next week. And the generator situation, it's a 3-phase system here, electrical. He was very surprised by that. What's that?
What equipment do you run in a building with 3 phases?
HVAC. Probably HVAC.
And that's it, they installed 3 phases for HVAC. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Usually.
I don't know enough about, you know, because like 1 phase is.
Single phase.
But, 3-phase meaning, I don't even,
Well, it's the way the generator is built. There's 3 magnets on a generator turbine. And every time it runs by the thing, it creates a wave of power.
okay,
So when there's three waves of power, it's called 3 phase. And what they can do is they can take like a transformer,
Sure.
and they can split off one phase and deliver it to a set of homes and split it into another phase.
Yeah.
If you have three phase all the way to the building, then you're gonna have this really funky power panel that combines, they call it AB power, BC, and CA. So you can choose which phase you want all your single phase stuff to be on. So like all of your lighting, I think it's, I've never heard of three phase. And
Yeah,
maybe it's the elevator, that's a good point. There's probably a big motor in the elevator.
yeah, elevator, so.
Yeah, so, okay, well, that's wow, that's such a trivial use of power for having three phases. But,
I don't know.
in any case, if you do that, then you'd have to split off your power panel to put in a generator that's attached to it.
Right. And then he said, 20 to 60,000.
Well, if you just went with a three-phase generator, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you split off, it would be more work on the electrical side to arrange it so that you could have a generator just connected to the single phase stuff. So if you took the elevator, it wouldn't work.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
You'd have to close anyway, because you wouldn't be compliant.
So it's still possible to do, but you'd have to put a generator in single phase, but you'd have to do some fancy wiring. So it probably cost a bit of money.
My question is, do you really need a generator if the power goes out? I mean, do we?
Well-
Be open?
Probably. I mean, the one day that it happened, staff were here till it got dark. Anyway, so, but there's not any way for us. I mean, we've done it before. We used to do it at the old library. We would handwrite all the numbers.
Right.
People came in, and then the next day we go in and plug them all in. Or checkouts.
Did your emergency lights come on that day?
Maybe.
They were so weird.
I think it was sporadic.
Yeah.
The reason I think it was sporadic is that some of these batteries are out.
Gotcha.
They
We
said
had
that,
zero work.
because I asked them, they said 4 or 5 years, I don't know, so. That some of them were out. So that's the generator. Oh, defibrillator, I can definitely see purchasing, $1,000. Sure. I don't know what thoughts are about where that money would come from. 1,000 for books is what's being based on. Spend 1,000. Spend more than that each month. Some of the other ones, 1,000 is. So I don't know whether or not we should.
What?
Use maybe.
I think it's a one-time purchase. You probably could. You could use stating. They have plenty there. Yeah. Did you recommend one or two?
Yes, well, he just recommended the one. He said though, it's. As opposed to when we looked at it or talked about it a while back.
Right.
when you're in the building. He said they're so easy now.
They're very easy.
Their voice command. So you don't need to be. Paramedic.
Just either, just you need to be able to hear.
Right.
I don't want to interject, but I almost want to recommend having friends purchase it. We did get a donation specifically to buy those at one time. When this building, before this building was up. So I would say it should probably.
Wait a second, that's right.
Yeah, we did.
I completely forgot that. You're right.
Yeah.
Was that the green ones?
No, it was.
Oh.
All right, so, we don't need, do you want me to send you the model or? just-
Either way.
Okay. I'll send either info with, either that, I mean. well, I think it's coming to the next year. Maybe easier.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send you the link. And I will send you the model.
We take the training at the senior center with Sue Tatum, town.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, she does first aid, for part of the session, and then she does the training. So we're all certified. So, and the training is as easy as it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it still is a hands-on. She brings it all over.
Is it, like, how long's the training?
Oh, say 2, maybe 3 hours.
That's the full thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's, like, you know, what is her availability like? I mean, I know the thing for the fire department was that they don't have somebody available to me.
Mhm.
So,
I think she does this as a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the town softball, NYS softball, we had this, we actually had an emergency in the fields. So we got 3 units, we put them on all the fields that are in town.
Sure.
And we had training done for all the coaches. That was done through a guy who, geez, I wonder if we can get that guy's name, because he basically, that's all he does is just the trainings. And he's like, he's a fireman, but he's not working for the department, just for trainings.
oh,
So I think we can find.
This is a guy, I think is in Milford that done it too, because when I worked at the
Oh.
animal school.
I might haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Oger? Say something.
This person.
This was a. Probably fifties or sixties.
if anybody. Can pass it.
Yeah.
And we'd have to figure out like.
Right, I think it was through Milford Fire Department. That's where they came from.
Yeah.
So good. That's good.
Oh, we did, we did it through, yeah, before and after school
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, that's where I did it. That's the last time I had it.
So yeah, if we get that, if anybody would send me the name for that, I'll check into Sue
Yeah.
also. And I will send you. Awesome, okay. So we already know the setup is set up. We're all set with that. Excellent. Vicky stopped in, design maintenance on the HVAC system and community fire and police, did the chuck and fire extinguishers, so that is complete. Budget. My meeting with the select board and the finance committee was good. As I said, everything was on the staff side in terms of where I felt we wanted increases. I gave everybody a copy of the, the scenario that I presented. And the upshot was essentially the schedule that I put out there, which is just one of the possible report schedules. 14,700 in addition for the year for 8 additional years. As I said, I felt they were receptive. It's still early days, so. See,
Good trade-off.
yeah, nothing was asked for on the operations end because I do feel that we can make it work. Operations money that we currently have. It'd be a long time in coming. A 12-year wait. For 9 hours, so we'll see where it goes.
I think because I publish all these meetings
Oh.
when I'm logged in.
Interesting. Budget for the month, 21,321.99 spent on the budget January. 6,822 in books. That's excellent because we want to be spending between 5,000 and 6,000 in books each month. So that is good. After 7 months, we spent 56.4% of the budget. The breakdown is, of course, after that, I'll let you go through that. Quiet month for program expenses, which I was really surprised by, but only 143.40.
That is quite.
Yeah.
A lot of freebies?
No. And the bank is just like, might have just been one of the
Right,
best stuff.
yeah.
I usually cancel a couple stories.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, programming is now in person. I had a test run yesterday, and I think it went pretty well.
Good.
And he said the same, that he thought it worked out pretty well. And then you have a program tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. As I said, the adult and children's programs differ right now. All children's programs, mask required. The very little is going to be, they're just going to keep the mask. And then adults, it's really kind of based off of what we were doing before, where if you were vaccinated, unvaccinated, these masks don't be strongly encouraged at these programs. We have a bigger program coming up there in Land in March 2nd. We'll have to evaluate what we want to do with that in terms of masks. Obviously, if a mask maybe comes down to the 28th.
Yeah.
You and I, we'll talk. But so far so good on that. Footnotes, the author visit was great. Very nice guy. And very generous at this time because he was really only supposed to spend 15 minutes with us and spend an hour,
That's nice.
which was great. And just a very interesting guy. You know, I don't know that anybody is really like thrilled by the book. But you really, I think, got us to appreciate it a little bit more.
I like it better after having checked.
Yes, yeah, I think you get a better sense of what he was trying to do. So yeah, just a really nice guy all around. I think everybody appreciated that. I've got to put a poll together for our next footnotes book club. I'm meeting with somebody. We're gonna actually, I took suggestions from everybody and I'm gonna put together a survey and everybody chooses like their top 6, I think is what's gonna happen. Then the top four will be the ones who do this. So it's nice because I'm getting this chance to contribute titles that they're interested in. The team book club. Great.
Awesome.
Jen was with us. Jen is the media specialist over at the high school, and so we went over there with iced coffee and snacks, and we had 9. Good group. They all were really interested in whatever the next book was going to be, and we thought, all right, we'll be back in like 3 months. No, they like wanted to do it like within the next month or 2. So they wanted to do a classic, and one of the seniors there wanted to do a classic. So we're doing Sense and Sensibility, and I think Jeff, you said 14 or 15. So we're already picked up. We're gonna have to find out if we need more, or, well, we'll talk about it. In any event, it's actually been really well received. Jen says she's had great feedback, so that's been good. I mentioned Karen Land. She's bringing her Alaskan Husky and the Corgi Springer mix. I don't know how a Corgi Springer mix actually is on a dinner sled. I've seen this dog. This dog is short, low to the ground. I don't know how he winds up on a dinner sled team. Okay. She actually brings all of her equipment, sled and gear, and it's a multimedia presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. Should be very interesting. Projects, oversized on the very back there is being weeded. It's probably a long time since we've done that, maybe not even since the library. We're getting rid of a fair number of titles because a lot of them are from probably been circulated. So it goes. We have a plan potentially to move the large print to the very back, which will open up good 3 shelf units, hopefully. Create more fiction space. Hotspots are available for checkout if anybody is interested. We have 4 of the 5.
How does that work? You check it out.
Yes.
You just have a code and it expires?
Well, it's 2 weeks. They're, you know, in terms of like how long you can use it for.
Yeah.
I don't know that the code necessarily expires.
Is it a thing? Is it
Yeah,
a
it's a
physical?
little, yeah, not big.
Oh,
I thought it was like a virtual thing.
No,
Just-
no, it's an actual little, like, credit card size unit probably, but
So if we're expecting a big storm.
yes, absolutely. Four of the five are in circulation, the fifth one, for whatever reason, there's a power cord missing. Fine, forget the cable. And whatnot. In any event, four are ready to go. All have passwords. So that's great. We have them for 1 year, free of charge, and then we have the option for pickup of the plan after that. I don't think it's tremendously expensive. It's certainly financially. We did the CDs upstairs. They're also reading picture books. So the project's upstairs. Bad news. I won't go into the contract stuff other than to say that I'm looking for comparables. And what I found so far is from 2018, so it's not really comparable if it's 4 years ago. So I have to, spreadsheets are older spreadsheets. Did you, when you went out and looked at those, do you recall what year they were from? Most more recent. Which I thought was weird, so I'm not. It lets you choose by year, but it only went up to 2018, so maybe you'll see some. Annual report is completed. If anybody wants a copy, just send me an email. I can send it to you to see. That's all set. Strategic Plan Committee, Sue Riverio said yes. Naomi Vogt, who we reached out to. Right? Sure. Thank you, by the way. Yes, she's definitely on board.
Yeah, great, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and she just wanted to get a sense of like exactly what it was,
Right.
what we're doing, what's the time frame. So yeah, once I told her that, she was set to go. So that's on the thing.
Now, she was the replacement for Jack.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then I think the only other person would have been Mike.
I would have.
Well, yeah. And then I was talking to you about these meetings because there's a YouTube playlist for them. Just to let everybody know, we can put a link on the website. Does anybody have any issues with putting these on the website?
They're gonna be out on the internet anyway, so.
And I think they're available somewhere on the comments.
No, so what it is you have to go to YouTube,
Okay,
and we have a YouTube channel,
right.
and then videos, it's called, or something like that, and it's got all the meetings.
Oh.
The ones we've done before, it's not- Right.
Let's see, regional news, I pretty much told you, Blackstone Valley Libraries, there was a few other things about pass program, because these can be shared passes. And that's become a little more individual now, there wasn't a lot of other information other than legislative breakfast. There's only gonna be one for the region this year. It's at the Worcester Public Library, 7:30 a.m. on March 11th. And in person, because Worcester is allowing for in-person events. And then the Library Legislative Day, which is usually hosted at the State House, is once again virtual. It was virtual last year. That's on April 6th. And that's about it. Budget stuff. The budget for the month. I don't really have. The breakdown is in the director's report. In terms of lines that are maybe a little bit slim. We've got about 1,700 left in the supplies line, so that's certainly almost 82% spent through. Building maintenance, we're at almost 90%, which is unusual, but some of that had to do with purchasing air purifiers this year. You last time. And every other line is relatively, well, programming is at 73%, 5,500. So But there are other lines to pull from contracted services. Telephone line is untouched, fuel line is untouched. Oh, there are some.
We'll go over there.
That's pretty much it.
Great. We did planning and kind of already talked about that. So next is setting up the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Jim Burrow about exactly what he's done it before.
Yep.
So I think it's just a matter of sticking with the times.
Yeah.
What works for him first and foremost. And I'll reach out to everybody, see their availability. It's a 3-meeting.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes, 2 hours each meeting.
Right, I think one is a little bit shorter than the other. I don't think it's the last one or something, but it's really more like, I mean, they're great stories.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of sticking with everybody. Yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, and he's the one, since he's the facilitator, he's the most important one.
And does he have all of the, he would sent all of the information, you
I
know?
don't recall. They knew it
Yeah,
doing
it
it.
was-
You can just
I'll
do it
just-
again.
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
It's really. So what else? This one too. All right, so I will reach out to him. Now that my round of reports is done, I have time to sort of tackle some of these things like the fire safety stuff. And then the strategic planning.
All right. That's all I've got. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Can't hear you, Allison. She said no.
I think that's something.
Yeah. All right, so next meeting should be the same day in March, that is in February, right? So, yeah. Let me make sure. It's anything pressing going on.
I just ask you a question on the page.
Yeah,
Fuel bill,
yes,
remains untouched. How come?
everything, well, all right, so.
Where you been the last week?
A number of years back, they split what used to be, I think, just called utilities or something into lights and fuel.
That was when we were in the,
Right.
we,
Right, and at the time, lights and fuel made sense because fuel had to do with gas.
You got oil.
Yeah, oil, yeah, exactly. And lights is electric, so, but now, to me, lights and fuel interchangeable, so like once, if lights ever spent down completely, we just move to fuel.
Oh,
Okay, so, to me, I look at those two and I say utilities.
Yep.
Essentially. And so that's a question.
That's good.
Yeah, and usually, I mean, you know, as we get toward
And
the
it
end
stays
of the
that way,
year.
doesn't it?
Yeah, when we get towards the end of the year, we're, programming, supplies. Yeah, those. But yeah, I don't know why. I just assume they call it utilities. Well,
Yeah, well, you can do that. You can change your budget next year, say.
payment.
So you keep whatever line item you want.
Okay.
And then move the money to it and just,
Oh, yeah, shift the money.
Yeah.
This is all.
well, maybe you probably have to talk to the account, but probably could do it.
I don't understand the energy source is different or the,
Everything here is electric.
oh, everything.
Yeah.
Even the heating is electric.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I full from lights to begin with, because that's a.
Yeah.
That's sizable.
Hefty money.
Budget. get down the fuel, most of it gets tapped into eventually.
Good luck spending. Allison, I have one question for you. On mute. How is the sound on your end? Is it cutting in and out?
It's interesting because it's cutting in and out just a little bit, but I really had a hard time hearing Andrew. I know of everybody. Ellen, I hear you clearly. I think it's Lisa from the Friends. She was clear as a bell. When Sean was speaking about the generators, he was clear, but I really struggled with Andrew. Sorry, Andrew.
Well, all right, so here's the thing, I can either like talk this way, but outside of that, he talked about, Lonnie talked about getting a microphone installed, we could put it in the middle here, and so maybe that would help. with
I
pickup.
think that would make a huge difference. I mean, and Tara didn't say much and Sharon didn't say much, and they're facing away, but you were facing in a different direction, and I really.
Well, that may have a lot to do with it, I would think.
Yeah, I think the microphone is certainly worth a try.
Okay. Did he say that he was gonna, or did we just have to?
Yes,
request it?
you just have to tell me on it.
And with that line, go up, I have a hard time hearing you.
I do have a hard time hearing her. Hold on, let's see.
So like,
Oh, yeah. Can you speak again? Allison?
Sure. I'll just reiterate what I said. It was hard, and I think it might be the direction that people are facing when they speak.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, that's what it is.
all righty.
We have a problem with the school system. It's similar to that, but it's a little bit wider, has some pickups. But if anyone is outside of the screen when you can't hear them either.
Oh, really?
It's very narrow.
Interesting.
Yeah, the pickup is very narrow.
So that's talking history.
Could be. So we'll have to have them ask them.
Although I
before the
talked
next
the
meeting.
same way, she could hear me.
She could hear you, right? Could you hear Sean and Wayne?
Yeah, Sean's explanation of the generator, I could hear perfectly.
Nice.
Yes, I'm directly facing everything.
Yeah, and Ellen, I heard you perfectly as well.
That's
I think my voice was soft.
You're not soft. It could be your tone, because I have a hard time hearing some male voices.
So.
Yeah.
But
Well,
my
I'm
husband accuses
disappointed
me
in
of.
myself.
So if you got a microphone, would it be Bluetooth, would it be wired in?
No, it'd just be a little stand one.
Yeah.
If
He didn't
you-
make it
you
sound
would
like
probably
if it
would
was
be-
wired, that would be an issue. I assume it's a wireless.
I think it's wireless.
Everything else. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I will reach out to him.
Oh, thank you.
And I will, look into the wireless microphone.
Andrew's gonna take sign language. All right, motion to adjourn?
Make it. Motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah, next meeting is March 9th at 6 p.m. Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Allison.
No, it was fun. And
Don't leave the meeting stuff
it
to
took a
report.
lot of concentration, and I missed a few words
Okay.
here and there.
Got it.
You'll get the minutes. All right, we're shutting you off.
Now, if you had, before you turn it off,
Bye,
if you had two
everybody.
people there.
They would split up.
It would.
Yeah. So what's confusing is when we were just testing this, it was just the picture of us.
Mhm.
And as we spoke, the camera would come in and out depending on who was speaking.
Mhm.
But we can't tell that right now because we're in a picture in pictures.
Oh, so it was doing,
Yesterday it was.
yeah. I didn't see the.
No. So right now, it should, that what's supposed to happen is the camera is supposed to, I'm gonna stop the recording so we don't have to